Welcome to this wonderful interview segment on Impact Yobe. Today I have with me the Executive Secretary of the Yobe State Scholarship Board, Dr. Abubakar Kagu. Good to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Now, Doctor, quickly, we want you to tell us more about the recent scholarship programs put in place by government to accommodate the Yobe indigents.
When you say recent, I think I'd rather talk about what the scholarship system is in Yobe since the coming of His Excellency Honorable Buni. Right. And what we began with was to draw a comprehensive and far-reaching scholarship system where we think after more than a decade of crisis and insurgency, scholarships should be purposive, demand-driven in a way that there will be part of this revered idea of resettlement, rehabilitation, reconstruction, okay, and the future of Yobe as a state and a community. So we developed what is called the RETS, recovery through education and scholarships framework, which is Governor Buni's idea of using scholarships as a way of recovery and development. And that system has continued to yield results since 2020. And as I speak to you, at present, apart from those that started around 2020, 2021, doing their postgraduate courses, we have about 300, to be precise, 371 students across 16 countries of the world, wow, including the United States, the United Kingdom, Turkey, Russia, China, India, and a lot of other countries. And demand-driven in the sense that these students on scholarship are pursuing various areas of discipline that we think are imperative in our drive towards recovery and development. So, but for what we did recently is we just concluded the payment of domestic scholarships. Okay. We have 38,183 beneficiaries across colleges, universities, and polytechnics in the country. And yeah, the system of scholarship in Yobe is, of course, we have those in foreign lands and those at home. And those at home are given bursaries, okay, and those in foreign land are being paid their tuition, their accommodation, and other expenses as they continue to pursue their studies abroad. So I think Yobe arguably has the most robust and comprehensive scholarship system in the whole of this sub-region and probably in the country. In the sense that, like I said, almost every Yobe indigent that is studying in either a university, a polytechnic, or a college in Nigeria benefits from scholarships. And then we have one of the largest number of students studying outside the country. So it is a huge investment, but then the most beautiful part of it is that His Excellency Governor Buni has never relented. In fact, he's always been encouraging that this system should be sustained because it is, to him and to all of us, the most lasting legacy of all the legacies he is poised to leave behind. Because, and of course, you know what a literate society is, and you know what the future of a society will be with education and without education. So essentially, that is our focus. That's the focus of His Excellency, and we're doing our best to see that we play our part in making Yobe a better place.
All right. Now, talking about robust, you actually mentioned the fact that you have been able to secure a large span of the beneficiaries to get this. Now, I understand that the scholarship board also has plans for the law graduates as well. Maybe you want to talk to us more about it.
I believe you might have followed the news recently, and just not more than 3-4 months ago, we paid the scholarship for over 200 Yobe students that are going to Nigerian Law School. But that's a system that has been there I recall we did the same in 2019, 2020, 2020, 2021, 2021, 2022, and it's for every Yobe student that's a law graduate that's bound to go to the law school. What we do is we pay their entire tuition, and then because it is a prerequisite for every student of every potential candidate of the Nigerian law school to have a laptop, the government secures for them laptops, and then it gives them some kind of stipend for their jackets and stuff. So essentially, it is a way of ensuring that, you know, as a law student, after graduating from the university, you only become a lawyer if you passed the Nigerian law school. So it's a mandatory course that every law graduate must attend. And what government is doing is to ensure that every law graduate benefits from this full tuition payment, and then their laptops and a little stipend that they will be given to be able to pursue that 1-year mandatory course. And now the cost is now about, the tuition I think is, today is about 470,000. And not everybody can afford that.
Absolutely.
Yes. It used to be 260 when we were going to the law school. It was much less, but now it's, but then the commitment of His Excellency Govt Buni is that each and every Yobe indigene that is a graduate of law should be able to attend the Nigerian law school, and funds or tuition should not be an impediment.
Now, you've outlined that. Before we go to the foreign engagements with the foreign universities, how would you assess the level of, you know, commitment from the students benefiting from this scheme as well? Like their performance level, is it encouraging enough for this particular scheme to continue? Has it been quite encouraging with their performance outcome when it comes to their disciplines at various levels as well? Well,
let me say, without fear of doubt, that it will interest you to know that I still teach law students at the Yobe State University.
Oh, that's brave. In fact,
yes, I'm a senior lecturer at the Yobe State University.
Wow. Despite all the shadows.
Yes, I still go, but I still go to the university. I know the students, many of them, because many of them are my students. Okay. And then, of course, along with other indigenes of Yobe coming from other universities, University of Maiduguri, ABU, Zaria, University of Jos, and other universities across the country. And I often, I think for the third time last year, I was able to attend their call to bar. And it is quite a moment that will fill you with joy. Because I taught them in school, the government gave them money to go to Nigerian law school. I'm coming to see them being called to bar as solicitors and advocates of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. So it is an investment, like I said, it is the most lasting legacy that His Excellency is leaving behind. Fantastic. Breeding a generation of educated professionals. I don't think there's anything that he will do that's better than that.
Absolutely. Now run us through the engagements with foreign universities.
Yes, like I said, we presently have 371 students across 16 countries. And we get feedbacks from the universities, we get feedback from the students. Our engagement with the universities is to ensure that they give the student the best, both in their academics, and of course we have a lot of paramedic students that go to do, and engineering students that go to do internships, they go to hospital to do stuff. So our engagement has been cordial, and so far so good. The feedback we're receiving from these universities, the feedback we're receiving from the students, the feedback we're receiving from the parents seem to suggest that our objective is on track. And it will also interest you to know that we are graduating 191 students.
Wow.
Yes.
191?
191 coming from abroad.
Wow.
The better equation, of course, are coming from India. We have some that are coming from Egypt. Some, the ones that are graduating from Egypt, most of them are coming as medical doctors. The ones that are graduating from India, we have those that are doing optometry, medical laboratory technology, civil engineering, petroleum engineering, pharmacists, optometrists. So it's quite a demand-driven, purposive approach to developing the state and, of course, the country. Because we will want all of them to stay and work for us here. We would love to bond them to stay in Yobe. But I personally do not have a problem if a student of Yobe will be working for NASA or will be at the Silicon Valley. Yes. He will still be a Nigerian, of course, an ambassador of Nigeria, and of course an ambassador of Yobe. So essentially, but we hope and pray that after graduation, they will come and contribute to the development of this community that really needs.
All right, quickly, I want you to quickly highlight your cordial relationship with the Ministry of Education, because I know that a scheme of this magnitude would have a direct impact in the Education Board. So can you just take us through a bit of what the relationship has been so far with the Ministry?
Yeah, our relationship is so cordial and so interconnected in the sense that we support students, especially students of tertiary institutions across the state, across the country, and abroad. Now the ministry has a mandate to ensure that these tertiary institutions function, and they function well. So you see the connection. And another thing is, because we are the ones that give to the student, we tend to have more data, more interaction with the students, and that gives us the opportunity now to come back to the ministry, have a conversation with the ministry around what we think can be done, where we think we are lagging, where the jurisdiction of where the mandate of the ministry is to come in and intervene. So essentially, it's been a quite cordial relationship, and a relationship that has continued to ensure that the objectives, the overall objective of the administration is being achieved. And it is very important, and it's very necessary, and that's the way the system is supposed to be working, and that's the way it's working.
Right, now quickly, the governor's commitment, you know, to this, because this is quite capital intensive. I would want you to also give us a bit of insight into how His Excellency has been, you know, being the backbone of this, making this possible.
Well, the truth is, I don't think any of this could have been possible without his unrelenting support. His support, his encouragement is quite unwavering. Like, as the Executive Secretary of the Board, there had never been a time that I brought before His Excellency a legitimate demand that he questioned. No, no. He's always willing, always ready. Sometimes he asks, is there any problem? What's really going, is there any problem? Is there any way that you think more support is needed? And anytime there's support, and it does not matter whether I go to him in the office or I meet him informally, he's always willing to listen. And it's been like that over the last 4 years that I've been the Executive Secretary of the Board. So to have all the entire Yobe indigenes in the country being paid scholarship, then have a huge number of Yobe indigenes abroad being paid, and there had not been complaint anywhere of maybe students being stranded abroad because they've not been paid their stipend, they've not been paid their tuition and so on. We've never had that case. So, but then, of course, you know, each and every recommendation that we forward had to be approved by him. So it means someone is doing the work somewhere. Someone is approving everything we're doing somewhere, and that is His Excellency. And another thing that would interest you is, apart from the law students that we're talking about, of course we have medical students in the country. Do you know that each student, each Yobe indigene that is studying medicine in Nigeria is being paid 42,000 naira monthly by His Excellency? Wow. Monthly. For each medical student. And for nursing students, I think they have been paid about 10,000, 20,000 or thereabout. But that's coming directly from the Ministry of Health. So there's it's a system that is supporting education at all levels, and trying to see that once a student has the opportunity, that opportunity does not slip off his hands because maybe his parents cannot afford to continue his education, or he doesn't have guardians that will support him. That is the way our system has been for quite a while, and we hope to sustain it, even though, like I said, it's very capital intensive, but that's what we hope to sustain.
Now, is there a structure in place to ensure that regardless of who comes into power at any point in time, this particular scheme keeps going on?
Well, tomorrow is not easily predictable, and tomorrow is not promised. But then I believe, and I have a strong conviction, that whoever is going to come tomorrow should be able to look back at what was achieved through this system and what he intends to achieve by the programs he's going to put in place. But then, wisdom should tell anyone that will come tomorrow that there is no legacy that's better than the legacy of education. If you have a literate society, then you have a society that is bound to be prosperous. If you want to destroy a society, then do not pay attention to education. It's as simple as that.
Thank you so much.
So thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Well, of course, education is a lasting legacy, and of course, according to Dr. Abubakar Kagu, if you want to destroy everything, then do not pay attention to education. This has been quite remarkable, and I must say this is quite masterclass from the governor himself, the commitment to ensuring that the indigenes of Yobe State gain from this beautiful scheme, and of course, across board for those who are engaging in different disciplines to ensure that Yobe State gets to the next level.
And that's all we have for you on today's episode on Impact Yobe. Join us next week for a fresh edition of the program. I am Mark Otabo. Goodbye for now.